Complete itinerary. Did you know that there are divine promises waiting to manifest in your life this year? What if I told you that the universe has already prepared 10 powerful promises especially for you, a Gemini, and that all of them will begin to come true in 2025? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Look, I know you might be going through a period of doubt. Maybe you're wondering if things will get better, if that old dream will finally come true, or if you'll be able to overcome the seemingly endless challenges. And I completely understand that anxiety, because many times we feel lost, unsure if we're on the right path or if everything we do is really worthwhile. But today I have a special message for you. Today I will reveal the 10 sacred promises that the divine has already set aside for your life. They are promises of renewal, prosperity, love, healing, and so many blessings that you can't even imagine. And most importantly, these promises are not just pretty words. They are sacred commitments that the universe is already preparing to deliver into your hands. Do you know what the big problem is? Many people give up before the blessing arrives. Many people stop believing just when they are one step away from a miracle. And I don't want that to happen to you. That's why, in this video, you're going to discover exactly what these 10 promises are, how to recognize when they are approaching, and most importantly, what you need to do to prepare yourself to receive them. Now answer me this. Are you ready to have your life completely transformed? Because after you learn about these promises, nothing will ever be the same again. So stay with me until the end, because every minute of this video could be the key that unlocks the door to your greatest achievements. Let's embark on this journey of faith, hope, and renewal together. First promise. The promise of mental and spiritual renewal. The first divine promise that will be fulfilled in your life in 2025 is the promise of the complete renewal of your mind and spirit. You, being a Gemini, know better than anyone how intense thoughts can be, how the mind can work non-stop, creating 1,000 different scenarios at the same time. And often this mental agitation brings anxiety, worry, and that feeling of always being torn between two choices, between two paths, between two versions of yourself. But the universe heard your prayers. The divine saw your sleepless nights, perceived when you struggled against your own thoughts, and now the moment of renewal has arrived. This promise means you will experience a peace of mind like never before. That seemingly endless confusion will begin to organize itself naturally. The negative thoughts that haunted you will lose their power. And you will feel incredible clarity about who you truly are and what your true purpose is on this earth. This renewal won't happen overnight, but you'll notice the first signs very soon. It could be through a revealing dream, an unexpected conversation with someone, or simply a moment of silence where everything finally makes sense. The important thing is that you pay attention to these signs, because they are confirmation that the promise is being fulfilled. And do you know what's most beautiful about this first promise? It doesn't just benefit you. When your mind is renewed, when your spirit is strengthened, you become a source of light for everyone around you. People will start to notice something different in you. They will seek you out for advice. They will feel better just by being in your presence, because you will radiate a completely transformed energy. But for this promise to be fully fulfilled, you need to do your part. You need to take care of your mind as you take care of your body. This means choosing better the thoughts you nurture, the conversations you participate in, the content you consume. It means dedicating a few minutes of your day to silence, to meditation, to prayer, to that sacred moment of connection with the divine. Always remember, a renewed mind attracts renewed situations. When you change inside, the world around you also changes. And this is just the first of 10 wonderful promises that the universe has prepared for you. So take a deep breath, because there are many more blessings coming into your life, and each one will bring you even closer to the fullest and happiest version of yourself. Second promise. The promise of financial prosperity. The second promise that will manifest in your life in 2025 is the promise of financial prosperity. And when I talk about prosperity, I'm not just talking about money in the bank. I'm talking about real abundance, the kind that brings security, peace of mind, and the freedom to live without the constant burden of worrying about bills at the end of the month. If you're a Gemini, you have a brilliant mind, full of creative ideas and innovative solutions. But often these ideas get stuck, whether due to lack of opportunity, fear of taking risks, or simply because the timing wasn't right. But now all that is about to change. The universe is opening financial doors that seemed locked for years. Job opportunities will arise from unexpected places. That project you put aside may finally come to life and become a real source of income. And there's more. This promise of prosperity doesn't just come through traditional work. It can arrive through creative ideas, talents you didn't even know you had, and connections with people who will value what you have to offer. The important thing is that you are open to receiving in ways different from those you are used to. But be warned, because along with this promise comes a great responsibility. True prosperity is not just about receiving, but also about managing wisely. When money starts flowing more easily into your life, you will need to learn how to save it, invest it, and make smart choices that will ensure this abundance is lasting and not fleeting. And do you know the biggest secret to attracting financial prosperity? It's gratitude. The more you are grateful for what you already have, however small it may seem, the more the universe sends you reasons to continue being grateful. Gratitude opens portals of abundance that no other energy can open. So start giving thanks today. Be grateful for the food on your table, for the roof over your head, for the job you have, even if it's not your dream job yet. Another very important thing. Be careful of envy and comparison. When your life begins to prosper, some people around you may not be happy about it. Some will question you, others will try to discourage you, and some may even feel envious. But you can't let the negative energy of others hinder the manifestation of your blessings. Continue on your path with humility and gratitude, but without letting anyone dim your light. This promise of financial prosperity is real, and it's coming. But it won't fall from the sky while you stand still waiting. You need to move, you need to act, you need to take the first step towards your goals. The universe will help you, it will open doors, but you need to have the courage to walk through them. So get ready, because abundance is knocking on your door, and it comes with the intention of staying and completely transforming your financial reality. Third promise, the promise of true love. The third divine promise that will be fulfilled in your life in 2025 is the promise of true love. And when I speak of true love, I am speaking of that love that warms the heart, that brings peace to the soul, that makes you feel complete and understood exactly as you are, with all your qualities and also with all your imperfections. If you're a Gemini, you know how much your heart has suffered. You know how many times you've truly given yourself and ended up getting hurt. You know how many disappointments you've faced, how many promises were broken, how many times you felt misunderstood or undervalued by people who didn't recognize the treasure you are. And because of all this, perhaps you've built walls around your heart, closed yourself off to new possibilities, or are afraid to give yourself again and suffer once more. But the divine is telling you today, the time has come to tear down those walls. The time has come to believe in love again. Because the person the universe is preparing to enter your life is different from all the others who have passed through it. It's someone who will understand you deeply, who will respect your natural Gemini duality, who won't try to hold you back or control you, but will instead give you wings to fly even higher. And this promise isn't just for those who are single. If you're already in a relationship, this promise means that the love between you will be renewed, will strengthen, and will reach a level of depth you haven't yet experienced. Those silly arguments will lessen, communication will improve, and you'll rediscover in each other what made you fall in love in the first place. But for that promise to be fully fulfilled, you first need to work on self-love. You need to look in the mirror and like what you see. You need to recognize your worth, understand that you deserve to be truly loved, and stop accepting crumbs of affection from people who aren't willing to give you the full feast. Because when you truly love yourself, you attract people who will also truly love you. So stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Stop thinking you need to be perfect to deserve love. Stop hiding parts of yourself for fear of not being accepted. The right person will love you precisely for everything you are, including your quirks, your contradictions, your mood swings, your need for freedom. And when you find that person, or when that love is renewed in your current relationship, you will understand that it was all worth it, that every tear shed was a necessary lesson for you to get to where you are today. This promise of true love is sacred. It will be fulfilled in the universe's perfect timing, which isn't always the time we want, but it's always the perfect time. So be patient, continue taking care of yourself, continue being the incredible person you are, and trust that the love of your life is already on its way. And when it arrives, you'll know that all the waiting was worth every second. Fourth promise, the promise of restored health. Before we continue talking about this wonderful fourth promise, I want to make a special request of you. If you are enjoying this video and feel that these messages are touching your heart, then subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any new content. And tell me in the comments where you are watching from. I love knowing that these messages are reaching people all over the world. And if you feel that this channel is making a difference in your life, consider becoming a subscriber and supporting this work. Every bit of support helps me continue bringing these messages of light and hope to you. Now let's continue with the fourth promise, which is about something very precious: your health. The fourth divine promise that will manifest in your life in 2025 is the promise of restored health. And this is one of the most important promises because without health nothing else has value. You can have all the money in the world, all the love, all the success, but if your body and mind are not well, none of that brings true joy. If you are a Gemini, you carry a lot inside you. You carry worries, anxieties, fears that you often don't share with anyone. And all of this ends up reflecting in your physical body. Perhaps you are feeling that persistent fatigue, those pains that doctors can't explain, that feeling of always being at the limit of your strength. Perhaps you have already experienced health problems that shook your faith and made you question why this was happening to you. But the divine is sending you a message of healing. The universe is telling you that the time for complete restoration has arrived. Your body will begin to respond better to treatments. Those pains that seemed chronic will lessen. You will feel more energy, more vitality, more desire to live and enjoy each day. And that mental fog that sometimes prevents you from thinking clearly will dissipate completely. This promise of restored health includes both physical and emotional/mental health, because everything is connected. When you heal emotional wounds, the body heals too. When you release old hurts, old pains, resentments that you've been carrying for years, your entire organism responds positively. It's as if you've taken a huge weight off your shoulders and can finally breathe easily again. But just like with other promises, you also need to do your part. You need to take better care of yourself. This means getting enough sleep, nourishing your body with real food, getting some exercise, even if it's just a short walk every day, drinking enough water, and getting some morning sun. These are simple things, but they make all the difference when practiced consistently. And there's one more very important thing: you need to learn to say no. You need to establish healthy boundaries with the people around you. You need to understand that it's not selfish to take care of yourself first. In fact, it's a necessity. How are you going to take care of others if you yourself are broken inside? How are you going to be strong for those who need you if you don't even have the strength for yourself? So accept this promise of restored health with absolute faith. Visualize yourself completely healed, full of energy, radiating vitality. Because your mind has incredible power over your body. What you believe, you create. What you declare, you manifest. So declare health over your life every day. Give thanks in advance for the healing that is already on its way. And take the practical steps that will cooperate with the divine work being done in you. Fifth promise. The promise of wisdom and decisions. The fifth divine promise that will be fulfilled in your life in 2025 is the promise of wisdom in decision-making. And this is an especially powerful promise for you, Gemini, because I know how much you suffer when you need to make important decisions. You see all sides of the situation, analyze all possibilities, consider all consequences, and in the end you are paralyzed, not knowing which path to choose. How many times have you missed incredible opportunities simply because you took too long to decide? How many times have you chosen the wrong path and then blamed yourself, wondering why you didn't see the signs that now seem so obvious? How many sleepless nights have you spent, racking your brain over a decision you needed to make, feeling that weight in your chest that comes from uncertainty? But all of that is about to change. The universe is granting you the gift of divine wisdom. You will begin to have an impressive clarity about what you should and should not do. That inner voice that guides you will become stronger, more present, more reliable. And you will develop an incredible ability to perceive situations with depth, to see beyond appearances, to identify what is true and what is illusion. This promise means that in the most complicated situations of your life, when you are faced with difficult choices, the divine will illuminate your path. These could be decisions about work, relationships, changes, investments, or any area of your life. And in each of these situations, you will feel an inner peace that will show you the right path. Even if that path seems difficult, even if other people don't understand, you will know deep in your heart that you are making the right choice. But pay attention to something very important. Wisdom is not the same as knowledge. You can have a lot of intellectual knowledge and still make foolish decisions. True wisdom comes from connection with the divine, from experience, from that deep place within you that knows the truth even when the mind is confused. And to access this wisdom, You need to learn to silence the external noise and listen to your inner voice. How many times have you known the right answer, but ignored your intuition because others convinced you otherwise? How many times have you gone against what your heart was telling you because you were afraid of others' judgment? This promise is freeing you from all of that. You will begin to trust yourself more, to respect your own perception more, to value what you feel more and not just what you think. And do you know what happens when you start making wise decisions? Your whole life changes direction. You stop wasting time and energy on things that aren't worthwhile. You stop engaging with people who only drain you. You stop investing in projects with no future. And you start directing all your resources, all your effort, all your attention towards what really matters, towards what will truly take you where you want to go. This is the promise of divine wisdom, and it is yours. So the next time you need to make an important decision, don't panic. Don't spend hours and hours agonizing over thoughts without getting anywhere. Simply take a deep breath, connect with the divine, ask for guidance, and trust that the answer will come at the right time. And when it does, you will know. You will feel that certainty in your heart that leaves no room for doubt. This is the promised wisdom, and it will completely transform the quality of your choices and, consequently, the quality of your life. Sixth promise. The promise of family reconciliation. The sixth divine promise that will manifest in your life in 2025 is the promise of family reconciliation. And this may be one of the most exciting promises, and also one of the most challenging, because family is a subject that touches the heart in a very profound way. If you are a Gemini, you have often felt misunderstood within your own family. Perhaps you are very different from your parents, your siblings, your closest relatives. Maybe they don't understand your dreams, don't respect your choices, don't value what is important to you. And over time, these differences may have created distance, hurt feelings, resentment, and even complete relationship breakdowns. Perhaps there's someone in your family you haven't spoken to in years. Maybe there's an old argument that no one quite remembers how it started, but that left deep scars on everyone. Maybe you said things you regret, or maybe things were said to you that hurt deeply and still sting when you remember them. But the divine is preparing powerful family healings for you. Situations that seemed impossible to resolve will find solutions. People who were distant will begin to draw closer again. Hearts that were hardened will begin to soften. And that family love that seemed lost will be rescued and restored in a way even more beautiful than before. But pay attention, because this promise demands something very important from you. Humility. For reconciliation to happen, someone needs to take the first step. And often that someone needs to be you. Not because you were the only one wrong, but because you are strong enough to break the cycle of pride and resentment. You are mature enough to understand that being right is less important than having peace. You are wise enough to realize that life is too short to waste time on fights that lead nowhere. And I know it can be difficult. I know pride hurts. I know you might be thinking that you were the one who suffered the injustice and therefore you shouldn't be the one reaching out. But think about it. What's more important? Holding on to resentment forever, or having the chance to recover a family relationship that can bring so much love and joy into your life? Of course, there are situations where distance is necessary. There are toxic relationships that need to end for your own good. And this promise doesn't mean you have to go back to being around people who hurt you. True reconciliation is sometimes internal. It's about making peace with the past, forgiving even from a distance, freeing those people from the prison of your resentment, and freeing yourself as well. But in many cases, reconciliation can be real and face-to-face. And when that happens, you'll be surprised by the lightness you'll feel. It's as if a huge weight has been lifted from your shoulders. It's as if you can finally breathe completely. Because holding on to resentment, holding on to bitterness, holding on to anger, all of that consumes an enormous amount of your energy. And when you release all of that through forgiveness and reconciliation, that energy is freed up to be used for good things, for things that truly matter. So if there's someone in your family you need to make peace with, don't wait any longer. Life goes by too fast. Tomorrow might be too late. Pick up the phone and call. Send a message. Go there in person if possible. And even if the other person isn't ready yet, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing you did your part. And often when you take the first step sincerely, the other person also opens up, because deep down everyone wants peace, everyone wants love, everyone wants to belong. This is the promise of family reconciliation, and it is too beautiful to be ignored. So open your heart to this possibility. Allow love to be greater than pride. And witness the miracle that the divine will perform in the dynamics of your family, when you are willing to be an instrument of peace and reconciliation. Seventh promise, the promise of professional fulfillment. The seventh divine promise that will be fulfilled in your life in 2025 is the promise of professional fulfillment. And this is a promise that many people have been waiting for years, because work is not just about making money. Work is about purpose, about feeling useful, about using your talents to make a difference in the world. If you're a Gemini, you have a versatile, creative mind full of brilliant ideas. You learn new things easily, adapt quickly to different situations, and have a natural ability to communicate and connect with people. But how many times have you felt trapped in jobs that didn't value any of that? How many times have you had to pretend to be someone you're not just to fit into a corporate environment that doesn't suit you? Perhaps you've been in a suffocating job for years, one that leaves you exhausted, doesn't pay you what you deserve, and offers no prospect of growth. Or maybe you've been unemployed for a long time, sending out resumes without receiving responses, going to interviews that lead nowhere, and feeling that anguish of not knowing when you'll get an opportunity. Or maybe you have your own business that hasn't taken off yet. That's draining your savings, and you don't know whether to persevere or give up. But the universe is telling you today, don't give up. The professional fulfillment you so desire is coming. It could be through an unexpected promotion at your current job. It could be through an invitation to work at your dream company. It could be through your own business that will finally succeed. It could be through a remote work opportunity that will give you the geographical freedom you've always wanted. The possibilities are endless, but what matters is that something big is moving in the professional sphere of your life. And you know what's going to be different this time? This job or opportunity will be completely aligned with who you really are. You won't need to wear masks. You won't need to hide parts of yourself to be accepted. You'll be able to be authentic, you'll be able to use your creativity, you'll be able to express your ideas, and on top of that, you'll be valued and rewarded for it. But while that promise hasn't fully materialized, you need to do a few things. First, don't let present frustration make you give up on the future. I know it's hard to keep believing when everything seems to be going wrong. I know it's exhausting to keep trying when all doors seem closed. But it's precisely in these moments of greatest difficulty that the turning point is closest. So keep going. Keep studying, keep preparing, keep doing your best even when it seems like nobody is watching. Second, be alert to opportunities that arise unexpectedly. Sometimes we are so focused on a specific type of work that we miss other incredible possibilities that appear in different ways. So keep an open mind. Talk to people. Network. Tell people what you can do. Because often the best opportunity comes through referrals, through connections, through someone who knows someone who needs exactly what you have to offer. Third, don't accept just anything out of desperation. I know that when finances are tight, the temptation is to accept any job that comes along. But there's a difference between being flexible and undervaluing yourself. You need to know your worth and not accept anything that's far below it. Because when you accept crumbs, you're telling the universe that's what you think you deserve. And then the universe keeps sending you crumbs. This promise of professional fulfillment is real. It is written in God's plan for your life. So lift your head, renew your faith, and prepare to receive it. Because soon you will be working in something that makes your eyes shine, being justly rewarded for your effort, and finally feeling that you are in the right place doing what you were born to do. Eighth promise. The promise of divine protection. The eighth promise that will be fulfilled in your life in 2025 is the promise of divine protection. And this is a promise that brings comfort to the heart, because we live in a world full of uncertainties, full of dangers, full of situations that are completely beyond our control. If you're a Gemini, you have a mind that sometimes plays tricks on you. You imagine the worst possible scenarios. You worry about things that may never happen. You get anxious thinking about everything that could go wrong. And this anxiety consumes a huge amount of your energy, robs you of sleep, takes away your peace, and prevents you from enjoying the present because you're always worried about the future. But the divine is placing special protection over you this year. This means you are being protected from accidents, serious illnesses, malicious people, and dangerous situations. This doesn't mean nothing bad will happen in your life, because challenges are part of everyone's journey. But it means that even in difficult times, you will be protected from what could completely destroy you. How many times have you narrowly escaped dangerous situations? How many times have you almost had an accident but something saved you at the last second? How many times have you been in the wrong place at the wrong time but for some reason managed to get out of there before something bad happened? That wasn't luck. That wasn't coincidence. That was divine protection acting in your life. And in 2025, this protection will become even stronger. You will realize that you are being protected in visible and invisible ways. That feeling of being alone in the world will completely disappear. You will know with absolute certainty that there is a greater force watching over you, guiding your steps, keeping dangers away, and always preparing the best for you. But this promise also includes protection against spiritual attacks. Because not every attack is physical. There are people who send negative energy your way through envy, gossip, and the desire to see you fail. There are environments charged with heavy energies that leave you exhausted for no apparent reason. There are situations where you feel you are being sabotaged in ways you can't rationally explain. All of this will be blocked by divine protection. It's as if you were enveloped in an invisible shield that repels all this negativity. The people who try to harm you will see their plans fail. The bad energies that try to reach you will be returned to those who sent them. And you will continue on your path in peace, focused on your goals, without being brought down by the obstacles placed in your way. But for this protection to be complete, you also need to do your part. You need to take care of your spiritual energy. This means having a regular prayer or meditation practice. It means avoiding environments and people that you know don't do you good. It means cleansing the energy of your home, playing good music, opening the windows to let the sun in, having plants, having things that remind you of the beauty of life. And it also means being careful about what you consume. I'm not just talking about food but also information. Because if you spend the whole day watching bad news, seeing tragedies, consuming violent or depressing content, all of that affects your energy field and can create gaps in your spiritual protection. So protect yourself. Be selective about what you allow into your mind and heart. Surround yourself with positive people, pleasant environments, and beautiful things. And trust in divine protection. Trust that you are being cared for with love, with attention, with a zeal that goes beyond your comprehension. And when you trust like that, you live with more lightness, more peace, and more courage to face whatever comes your way. Ninth promise. The promise of freedom from addictions and destructive patterns. The ninth divine promise that will be fulfilled in your life in 2025 is the promise of liberation from addictions and destructive patterns. And this may be one of the most transformative promises of all, because often we don't realize how certain behaviors are holding us back and preventing us from reaching our true potential. When we talk about addictions, most people immediately think of drugs or alcohol. And yes, if you are struggling with either of these addictions, this promise is for you too. The divine will give you supernatural strength to win these battles. You will receive help from unexpected places. You will find treatments that work. You will meet people who will support you on this journey of recovery. And one day, sooner than you imagine, you will look back and realize that you managed to escape that prison. But there are other types of addictions that are equally destructive, and that we often don't even recognize as addictions. Addiction to overworking, to being perfect, to controlling everything and everyone around you. Addiction to toxic relationships, to always going back to people who hurt you just because you're afraid of being alone. Addiction to food, to using food as an emotional refuge every time you're sad, anxious, or stressed. Addiction to technology, to spending hours and hours scrolling through social media without even noticing the time passing. Always comparing your life to the lives of others and leaving feeling worse. And there's more. There are destructive patterns that we repeat without realizing it. Have you ever stopped to think about how many times you repeat the same mistakes in relationships? How many times do you get involved with the same type of person, expect different results, but always end up hurt in the same way? Or how many times do you sabotage your own success just when things are starting to go right? How many times do you give up halfway through, return to your comfort zone, and then regret not having persevered? All of these are destructive patterns that have been formed over the years, often in childhood, and that today operate automatically within you. You don't even think about it anymore. You simply act the same way because that's what your brain has learned to do. But the good news is that any pattern can be broken. Any habit can be changed. Any addiction can be overcome when you have divine strength on your side. And the universe is offering you this strength now. You will begin to perceive more clearly which behaviors are harming you. A new awareness will emerge, a genuine desire to change, and along with that, the necessary resources for this change to happen will also appear. It could be a book that falls into your hands at the right time. Could be a video that opens your eyes. It could be a conversation with someone who went through the same thing you are going through and managed to overcome it. It could be the inner strength you didn't even know you had that suddenly manifests with full power. But it won't be easy. Breaking addictions and destructive patterns is never easy. You will have relapses. There will be days when you think you can't do it. There will be moments of weakness where temptation will be almost impossible to resist. But the difference now is that you are not alone. You have divine protection, you have this promise, you have a greater purpose to fulfill, and all of this gives you the strength to keep fighting even when it seems impossible. So if you recognize any addiction or destructive pattern in your life, don't pretend it doesn't exist. Don't hide it. Don't minimize it by saying it's not that serious. Because the more you deny the problem, the more power you give it. So acknowledge it. Admit to yourself that you need help. And accept the help that the divine is offering. Seek professional help if necessary. Talk to people you trust. Participate in support groups. Go to therapy. Do whatever it takes. Because the freedom you will gain when you finally break those chains will be the most valuable thing in your life. You will feel light. You will feel in control of your own existence. You will feel worthy. You will feel proud of yourself. And that feeling is priceless. 10th promise. The promise of the revealed purpose. And we finally arrive at the 10th and final divine promise that will be fulfilled in your life in 2025. And this is the most profound promise of all, the promise of revealed purpose. Because in the end, what every human being most desires is not simply to survive, but to understand why they are here, what their mission is, what the meaning of everything is. If you're a Gemini, you often feel torn between many possibilities. You have so many different interests, so many diverse talents, so many things you'd like to do, that sometimes it's difficult to choose just one path. And this difficulty in choosing may have led you to try many things throughout your life without ever feeling completely fulfilled in any of them. It's as if something is always missing, as if you haven't yet found what you were born to do. But this year will be different. The universe will reveal to you with crystal clarity what your true purpose is in this life. And when that happens, many things will suddenly make sense. You will look back and understand why you went through everything you went through. You will understand that every experience, every difficulty, every achievement was preparing you for this moment where you finally discover who you really are and what you came here to do. And the most beautiful thing is that your purpose won't be something unattainable or distant from your reality. It won't be something that requires you to completely change your life overnight. Most of the time, our purpose is hidden in what we already do naturally, in what brings us joy, in what we would do for free just for the pleasure of doing it. What needs to change isn't necessarily what you do, but the awareness with which you do it. When you discover your purpose, work ceases to be just work and transforms into a mission. Relationships cease to be mere convenience and transform into meaningful connections. Challenges cease to be mere problems and transform into opportunities for growth. Everything gains greater meaning because you understand that you are part of something much bigger than yourself. And you know what the best part of living with purpose is? Things start to flow naturally. Not that everything becomes easy, but you have an inner certainty that sustains you through difficult times. You no longer question whether you're on the right path. You simply know you are. And that certainty gives you a peace that nothing else in this world can provide. But for your purpose to be fully revealed, you need to be willing to listen. You need to create spaces of silence in your life where the divine voice can speak to you. Because that voice isn't loud, it isn't dramatic, it doesn't come with fireworks. It's soft, it's gentle. It's that whisper deep in your heart that you can only hear when you stop running, when you turn off your cell phone, when you disconnect from the noise of the world and connect with your inner self. So do this. Set aside some time each day, even if it's just 10 minutes, to be silent, to meditate, to pray, to simply exist without doing anything. And in that silence, ask questions. Ask what your purpose is. Ask what the universe expects of you. Ask how you can serve better. And then listen. Listen with your heart, not just with your ears. Because the answer will come. Maybe not immediately, maybe not in the way you expect, but it will come. And when you arrive, when you finally understand why you're here, everything will change. You'll wake up in the morning with a sense of direction. You'll go to sleep at night with a feeling of accomplishment. You'll face challenges with more courage, because you know you're fighting for something that truly matters. You'll value the right people more because you understand who is aligned with your purpose and who is diverting you from it. You'll make better choices because you have a clear North Star to guide you. Look at the incredible journey we took together in this video. we talked about 10 powerful divine promises that will manifest in your life in 2025. The renewal of your mind and spirit. The financial prosperity that will give you security and freedom. The true love that will warm your heart. The restored health that will give you energy and vitality. The wisdom to make the right decisions. Reconciliation with your family. The professional fulfillment you so deserve. The divine protection that guards you from all evil. Liberation from addictions and patterns that bind you. And finally, the revelation of your true purpose. These aren't just pretty words. They are real promises, commitments from the universe to you. But remember that these promises also demand something from you. They demand that you have faith. They demand that you do your part. They demand that you prepare yourself to receive. Because what good is it for the universe to open doors if you don't have the courage to walk through them? What good are blessings arriving if you are not prepared to recognize and take advantage of them? So from today onward, I want you to wake up every day with the certainty that you are living in a special year. A year where everything can change for the better. A year where miracles will happen. A year where you will become the best version of yourself. But for all this to happen, you need to cooperate with the divine. You need to keep the faith even when circumstances seem contrary. You need to keep moving towards your dreams even when fatigue sets in. You need to believe in yourself even when no one else does. And every time you feel weak, when you want to give up, come back to this video. Remember these 10 promises. Let these words renew your hope and strengthen your faith. Because I believe in you. And more importantly than that, the universe believes in you. Otherwise, it wouldn't have prepared such beautiful promises for your life. Now I want to ask you a question. Of these 10 promises we talked about today, which one touched your heart the most? Which one do you most need to see fulfilled in your life right now? Write it in the comments. I want to know. And who knows, maybe we can make more specific videos about each of these promises to help you even more on this journey. And if you're not already subscribed to this channel, subscribe now and activate the bell to receive all notifications of upcoming videos. Because I'm here to accompany you on this journey, to bring you messages of light, hope, and faith. And if you feel that this channel has made a difference in your life, consider becoming a subscriber and supporting this work. That way I can continue producing quality content for you. Remember, 2025 is your year. It's the year of fulfilled promises. It's the year of change. It's the year in which everything you planted with so much effort will finally bear abundant fruit. So go with faith. Go with courage. Go with the certainty that the best is yet to come. And so it shall be.